Welcome to the Own Your Choices, Own Your Life podcast. You've landed in the right place to learn how to own your story, release subconscious beliefs, rewire your mind, and step into the impact you know you're here to create. Through outspoken publishing and NLP certifications, we share the tools and subconscious shifts that expand your voice, your message, your confidence, and your leadership. I am your host, Marsha Van Weinsberg, NLP trainer, speaker, author, and publisher. I am thrilled you are here. Let's get started. Welcome back to the show. So, doubt. Let's talk about doubt. Doubt is something that I just don't know anyone who does not feel it, experience it so frequently. And the more you go after a new goal, a new thing you want to create, something that is outside that comfort zone, doubt will show up because it's a protector. It keeps you safe. I actually heard Emily McDonald, I think it's McDonald. She's on the Lewis Howes podcast. I've actually followed her account for years. I think she's a neuroscientist and she's built out her whole business on this kind of work, the subconscious work. She's a great communicator too. So I heard her say on this podcast, and it made me want to dive in, especially since I just finished doing an episode about joy and how they can be almost, polar opposite emotions. So doubt, she said, is a dopamine killer. We've all heard people talking about like dopamine, right? So we get our hit of dopamine from our phone, but it's short-lived. There are actually dopamine hits that you want to get that are longer lasting that come from you, not something external. But the thing is that when doubt shows up, it's not a thinking problem. It's a state, and that state continues to drive our behavior, our actions, and our results. It also drives our internal representation, which means how we see the world. And the reason doubt is so, what I would almost call dangerous, isn't because it feels uncomfortable, because actually it feels quite normal for most of us, but it changes our energy. And when it changes your energy, it changes your actions. So have you ever noticed the moment when you get excited about something and all of a sudden this voice pops up and you're like, wow, where'd that come from? Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe don't post that. Don't share that. Oh, don't swear. Don't do that. Maybe this won't work. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not qualified enough. Maybe people don't care what you have to say. And then all of a sudden, that excitement that was there about like, I'm going to go do the thing, it disappears. And then momentum disappears and energy disappears. And then nothing changes externally. Like nothing actually happened externally to make you stop. But internally, the energy just like hit a brick wall. It hit an absolute brick wall. So doubt is not just a thought, right? It is so much deeper than that. It affects like your motivation, your actions, your confidence, how you show up, how you share, what you believe is possible. Every emotional state creates access to certain resources. So like when you're feeling things like confident, certain, I trust myself, my intuition, curiosity, possibility, all of these things, when you're in that, you see opportunities around you. And the opportunities might actually present themselves and you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I feel good. Energy is good. But when you're in doubt or fear or overwhelm or uncertainty, all you see is problems because the lens has changed. I want you to imagine now all of a sudden, it's like you're going to the optometrist and they're like, is it this one or this one? Is it this? And sometimes I swear there's hardly any difference, but there's a massive difference. So imagine one lens is possibilities, right? The one lens is like, yeah, oh my God, I see that. Look at that. There's an opportunity there and there and there and things I get to do. And all of a sudden they change the lens and now it's doubt. And you're like, wait a minute, the picture looks different. I feel like fear and uncomfortable and it just feels like overwhelm and I'm anxious, right? I'm anxious. I had a client say that recently. I'm so anxious. I have so much anxiety because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, do you have anxious feelings because you're uncertain of what to do next? Or do you have anxious feelings because you don't know what to do? And she's like, well, I'm just uncertain. And I'm like, so is it anxiety or is it anxious feelings? She's like, well, it's actually anxious feelings. And all of a sudden it was like we started to talk down the lens. And then now the lens from the optometrist changed. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, I don't just see problems, I see all these possibilities. The world doesn't change, your state does. And your state always determines what you see because it changes your internal representation. But what happens when we have doubt is you can be having so much momentum. Oh my God, I felt this. So much momentum. You're like, yes, I'm ready for this. Yes. And all of a sudden it's like, no, no, no. You're getting a whole bunch of no's from things you thought were going to be yeses that were going to happen. And all of the sudden, momentum feels like it just hits. And when you hit those walls, which is business, it happens all the time. We're in a space where it's like all of a sudden doubt has come up. Okay. And it's taken that excitement that you have felt with dopamine. Dopamine is not happiness and anticipation. It's like this feeling of possibility. It's like this feeling of like, I can do this. I've got this. Like, I know I do. I feel so certain in myself and I trust myself. It's that dopamine of like, I've got my day and I'm doing this. It feels incredible. And all of a sudden, you decide to launch something, to write the book, start the podcast, put yourself out there, apply to be on something, raise your rates, and you are feeling so hopeful and so excited and feeling possible. You feel momentum is coming. And then all of a sudden, doubt arrives. It's like doubt pulled up to the party. And doubt's like, oh, here I am. And all of a sudden, you're like, ooh, wait a minute. Maybe this is too much. Maybe I'm being a little bit too much. Maybe my energy's got to step back a little bit. I'm taking up too much space. All of a sudden the action drops, or maybe it's like, hey, I put the post out. That's good enough, right? And then you're not being consistent with what you want to do. Like you're not being that version of you. And all of a sudden the creativity drops, your confidence drops, and you feel yourself in a space of like, I don't think so. This is just too much. See, doubt didn't kill the dream. It didn't. It kills your relationship with the dream. The dream's still there. The dream hasn't changed, right? The goal didn't change. How you perceive it, how you see it, your relationship with it, how you see yourself in that dream, all of that changed. Because that's your internal representation. That's your state. That's how you are being. That's how you're being. And so I'm curious, what dream are you currently doubting? And what has that doubt cost you? I often think back to the very first time when I was like, I'm going to write my solo book. I was so proud, so excited. It was like so certain. And I will tap into that version of myself over and over because for some unknown reason, my 10-year ago version of me went, oh, no one else likes the idea. Everyone else thinks I'm crazy. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I think I pushed through it in a very unhealthy way, but I'm grateful that I did push through it because I tap into her all the time. When I'm feeling doubt, I'm like, that version of me from 10 years ago, she did it and she had no reason to. Like, she had every reason to quit. And see, this is where, what if there's an actual subconscious purpose of doubt and you can see it differently, right? You can see it differently because remember, your subconscious mind only wants what is safe, predictable, and familiar. That is it. All day, every day. Is it safe, predictable, and familiar? And doubt is not proof, right? It's not proof that you can't do it. It's just a feeling. That's all it is. It's not evidence. There's not like evidence in front of you that you can't do it. It's protection. It's trying to protect you, right? It's just a feeling. That's all it is. And so when you start to expand and like your visibility increases and responsibility increases, uncertainty increases, the nervous system contracts and feels like, too much, let's slow down. You know, I had a situation earlier in this year, and I was like always working on how to share these things. But I had a situation earlier this year where I had multiple clients not paying for bills. Like I'm talking like multiple thousands of dollars. And there was one point where I was feeling like so out of trust and inner knowing. And honestly, I was tired of fighting it. I was so tired of fighting it. And I'm like, is what's going to happen as we continue to grow? Seriously? Because if I don't want this, I don't want this feeling. And I felt myself in a space of like doubting the visibility, doubting the growth, doubting the responsibility. Because guess what? I still had team to pay. And I did pay them before I was paid, which is not easy at all. And I feel like it's part of the responsibility I signed up for. And I'm not saying it in that lens. I'm saying that, boy, do you want to believe that doubt showed up in a loud way during these moments, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You want more of this? Are you crazy? Like, it was wild. See, it's not that I wasn't capable of it. It's not that you're not capable of it. These feelings are normal. And that's why I want to actually normalize these feelings and be neutral in this space. Because if you're neutral, I want to show you that, like, I have doubt every single day. Oh my God, I've had doubt every day. Oh, for as long as I can think of. But I've especially had doubt knowing that in 2020, my job was gone overnight. And all of a sudden, and it's like, now I got to figure out how to do this. Oh, and I'm 50 and I've spent 28 years in a career. Like, I doubt. Oh my God, it was everywhere. I had to find ways to quiet it. Launching the first time I put outspoken into the world, the NLP certification, honestly, and 2 people joining. And I was like, that's it? Is that it? Is that all that people want? And you know what? I'm dead serious. I'm embarrassed to say that, but that's where I was. And then I had to be in a space of like, all right, if I don't have the conviction in it, I don't expect anyone else to. It's got to come from me first. I felt it when it was like launching the Heartwired CEO in full transparency. The mastermind and live event, I'd never done anything to that size. And the mastermind, I openly said this with Meg. Meg and I were mirrors for each other. She was like, just the way she ran her business, I was so like almost enamored with it. I loved it. She was having those mirror moments with me and speaking of visibility. But putting a mastermind together with 2 people, I hadn't seen that done. I hadn't. And I knew how we wanted to run it. And guess what? That first year, there was a lot of fumbling. We had to figure out things. And we did with communication and clear, like, what does this look like? Year 2, we're like, we're in a stride now, which is really cool because she has her strengths, I have mine. And it just so happens they're completely polar opposites. So we're able to pull this together. But I'll tell you, the self-talk of doubt was wild. I don't think there's anything in my business that I've created that didn't start with a tremendous amount of doubt. Now that I say that, even going to speak on stage. See, I don't think that certainty comes first. I think the decision that you're moving comes first. So if you're waiting to feel certain and to feel like, yeah, I know this feeling, guess what? You don't know the feeling because you haven't been there yet. Unless you are really good at working with the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind knows like all time is on the same plane. So past, present, and future, same, exact same. That's why when you heal one emotion, it can affect multiple generations. And listen, if that feels wild, it's just true. You just have to trust me on this because I was very skeptical. It's very true. But I actually was in a space of like looking for, am I expecting to feel certain first? And that's not how it comes. I never actually had certainty in the circumstances and how they would work out. I had to learn how to build certainty myself and also knowing that that doubt is actually part of the equation. Doubt comes with you. Doubt is there. Don't feed it. Don't like give it any more power. But everything I have built, I promise you, if you look at what I built and what I've done, it's all come with like, it's all started from a feeling of doubt. And can I actually do this? See, when it comes to this, it's important to know, like, when you have that feeling of hesitation, does that mean that that's doubt? I actually don't think so. I think that it is discernment. I think that there can be discernment as you continue to do this. You know, a year ago, I had the idea for Unbothered as a book a year ago. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go. We're going to do it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, no. And I know it was part timing. And I do know that there was doubt there. But I actually think the doubt was there because it was new and that there was discernment there of, is this the right time? Is this actually the right time? And it's okay to take ideas and put them on a shelf until it's the right time. It really is. That is just discernment. Same as discernment of knowing like what to invest in. What do you need support in, right? Everything can have really shiny like bells and whistles, but do you actually need that in your business? I'm working with somebody right now who was told you need a business coach. She went out and put all the money into a business coach. And then it just so happened she crossed paths with one of my past clients. And my past client said to her, oh, no, you actually need subconscious work. She's like, no, she has a product-based company. And she's like, no, I need a strategy. And she's like, well, you are actually the strategy. And that's a big piece about identity. You are the strategy. And so we started working together and it's been wild. I said to her, how do you feel? She was like a completely different person in 2 weeks. I would have been able to heal through so much. And now I can actually see where I want to go. And so sometimes like that feeling of doubt in yourself is just a discernment of like, what do I actually need? And doubt might sound like, are you crazy? Who do you think you are? You can't do this. What if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if people judge you? Discernment is like, is this the right time? Is this the right person? Is this aligned? Is this actually even mine? Does this fit my values? Is it the right timing now, or does it have to go on a shelf until later? See, I actually think doubt contracts you. It like makes you smaller. Whereas discernment is just like, let's clarify this. Let's look at this. Let's decide. This is where I think that, when you do this, you start to see that doubt isn't the enemy. Doubt pulls up. There it is. Now, can I have some discernment? Okay. Does that mean I can't do it? No, it means like, is it really safe right now to do this? No. I'm working with my back end of my team right now. I love to share these examples. I hope these are helpful. But we're building out my front end of the website. And I was like, hey, maybe we could do a master practitioner starting in October and do it so that we have it in 6 months. Cause I've had some inquiries for a master practitioner for outspoken. It was so funny, literally so funny. Because if you know her, Corlin, she looked at me, she's like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but can you please just look at your fall and tell me if you think that's a good idea? She didn't have to finish her sentence. I was like, you know what? It's not actually. It's not. That was discernment. Doesn't mean I can't do it. I can do a lot of things, but it's okay. Not everything has to live at once. That is discernment. So if doubt comes up for you, can you have the discernment to make a decision and see it for simply as an emotion? Because that's all it is. The story only ever has meaning if you give it meaning. That's it. That is where the story is different. So what if doubt isn't an enemy? What if it's like not a killer of your ideas? And it's simply who you are today and who you are becoming. It's like a bridge. And so every time you're in this space where like you're expanding, you are following these callings, you're doing the things that you're here to do, doubt is part of the plan. Doubt is like in the clown car with you. It comes with you at all times. And so I want you to kind of lean into this. I am playing a lot more with the spiritual side, which is really, really cool. Thank you, Renee. I am in Renee Walker's The Spiritually Wired membership, and I love this space. For me, it's been beautiful because this is for me. I'm not doing it to like grow my business. I'm doing it for me, and it's beautiful. And I'm really playing with some of these concepts. Now, she's brought me in to coach once a month, so I'm doing this as well. And I get to play with the spiritual side. Your soul often knows, right? Before your nervous system does. So the soul feels like, nah, I'm supposed to write the book. I like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to live these lessons. And this is what I'm doing. The nervous system is like, "Ooh, unsafe, just pull back, contract, and then doubt pops up. And when you feel that doubt, what if you can just look at that discomfort as like, I see the fear. I see what it is. You don't have to wait for doubt to disappear. You can just build a different relationship with it like you do with any other emotion that comes up. You don't have to wait for it to disappear because it won't, not entirely. It never does. The goal is honestly to bring it along for the ride, recognize it's trying to protect you because you're doing something unfamiliar. And when you see that, you also can be in a space of being open to all the possibilities. You don't have to say, "Ooh, I feel doubt. I can't do it." That's what it means. Doubt is not in charge of making decisions unless you let it be in charge. Have the discernment. How can you build that discernment piece? Because all of a sudden, then you're stretching your capacity and you're growing into it. You're becoming the version of you who can hold this. And it's really, really powerful. I don't think the goal is to become fearless. I used to wear a bracelet, oh my God, 10 years ago, and it was fearless. And every time I looked at it, it didn't feel good. Somebody gave it to me and I didn't understand why. And there's like a whole business that was built on the fearless movement. And I just, even now I have goosebumps. I'm like, it didn't feel good. I don't think we're meant to be fearless. Okay. I think it is like in this space of like seeing the doubt, feeling the fear, and learning how to move with it. Move anyways. Start the thing, the podcast, the business, the coaching, like the post, any of it. It's all in a space of knowing that everything I have built, doubt was there. And I encourage you to ask yourself, if everything you have built up until today and done, what kind of role did doubt have? Was it with you or was it blocking you? You get to choose. You honestly get to choose. And this is why subconscious reprogramming matters and why it's important, because it's a pattern. And a pattern, an emotional pattern, a subconscious pattern that's on repeat, you can change that. You can change that. It takes work, it's effort, but it's also work and effort to do nothing and stay the same. You get to decide. So I would love to hear how this message lands for you, how it speaks to you. And I want you to know that you having doubt in yourself means nothing about you unless you apply meaning to it. And what if you could change that and be in a space of like, damn, I see you doubt and you get to come with me. I know that you're part of the equation. And I know that joy and doubt are partners of each other. So if you haven't listened to the episode earlier this week on joy, I invite you to, because I combined these two to a topic in Renee's mastermind. And it was a really powerful conversation. Those two are very much hand in hand. So regardless, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at any time. I can't wait to hear how this episode lands. And please know I am forever cheering you on. Have an incredible day. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Own Your Choices, Own Your Life. I invite you to tag me on social media with your takeaways or share it with a friend. If you feel called, please leave a 5-star review and I would be forever grateful. Until next time, remember, when you own your choices, you own your life.